Alright, let's look at example 2. Triangle JKL has coordinates 0, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 1. So let's graph that. 0 for our x and 2 for our y. We'll call that point J. K is at 3, 4. So 3 for our x and 4 for our y. That's point K. And L is at point 5, 1. So for our x's will be 5, and for the y's will be 1. That's L. So connect the dots. That's our triangle JKL. Now draw the image J prime, K prime, L prime after a translation of 4 to the left and 5 up. I'm actually going to write that down somewhere. I'm going to write 4 left and 5 up. That way I just have it to the side a little bit more clear for myself. Right, so we take it one at a time. Let's look at J first. We need to go 4 left and 5 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. This is my new J. We call that J prime. Okay, 4 left, 5 up. 1, 2, 3, 4 left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. That's K prime and L. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. L prime. Let's connect those. So now, what are the coordinates of J, K, L? J prime, K prime, L prime. Well, J prime, the x coordinate is -4, and the y coordinate is 7. K, the x coordinate is -1, and the y is 9. And what point is L at now? X is 1, y is 6. So our rule for this, how did we change, first, let's look at the x values. How did we change the x values? Well, from J to J prime, we went from 0 to -4. How do you get from 0 to -4 mathematically? 0 minus 4 equals -4. What about 3 to -1? Mathematically, 3 minus 4 is going to give me -1. 5 to 1. 5 minus 4 gives me -1. So how am I changing my x values? I'm subtracting 4. Now for my y values. How do I change my y values? I went from 2 to 7. 2 plus 5 gives me 7, right? Then I went from 4 to 9. 4 plus 5 gives me 9. Then I went from 1 to 6. 1 plus 5 gives me 6. So how did I change my y values? I added 5. So tell me more about this figure. Is it congruent or similar? Well, remember, congruent means that it's the same shape and the same size. Similar means it's the same shape but different size. Well, these two are in fact exactly the same size. We just moved it. We moved each one the same distance. So it should be exactly the same size and the same shape. So it's congruent. because it is the same shape and same size. All right, so let's look at our rule down here. The translation location. If your x-coordinate is adding, then you're going to go to the right. What do I mean by that? Well, if for my x-coordinate was here, and I went this way, right? When we went 4 left, well, that was subtracting, right? So actually, you know, if your x-coordinate subtracts, that means we need to go left. We're looking at the coordinate plane. So whether we go left or right is going to be whether we add or subtract. And that's going to help you determine, if they give you the rule, which way you're supposed to go. So just think about it this way. When you're on your coordinate grid, to the left is the negative numbers. So anything negative would be to the left, or to the left would be negative. Anything to the right is positive, so any positive number is going to be moving to the right, and vice versa, right? So that's talking about x-coordinates. For the y's, when you add, that's going up, and when you subtract, that's going down. Okay, so we went 5 up here, and for our rule, we added 5. So that's what I mean here. Adding means up for the y coordinate. Subtracting would mean down.